This is my update video for my 1 year post HSCT treatment in Russia, and it's really been, I didn't quite know where I would find myself 12 months after treatment, because the first year is still really early recovery, so I've been having to work through quite a lot of putting the pieces back together after what the chemotherapy does to your body, and it messes up a few things and it's really just rebuilding from that. Muscle strength is doing pretty well, which is nice to know. On my actual stem cell birthday, I decided to do things which, or do a thing at least, which I had not been able to do since before I had my treatment. So on the actual day, on the time, because Russia's like 4 hours ahead, on the actual time when I woke up, I knew when my stem cells would have been being reinfused in Russia. I went to my CrossFit gym and worked out there at that time, because I thought, you know, what better thing to do than to do what Dr. Fedorenko would have wanted me to do, which is exercise and get strong and recover. And improve myself physically. So that's what I did. Symbolically, at the time, I would have been having my stem cell reinfusion, or transplant I should say, and then to do it a nice thing on the day, I went up to the South Downs, and I quite recently bought myself a new rollator, which has really helped me use the wheelchair much less. I still use it when I don't want to have to be thinking about walking. I've got other things to do. But if I want to practice my walking, which is something which I definitely need to do, and I have to work really hard not to avoid, because I've spent years avoiding walking because it's been really hard. But now I bought this new rollator. I took that onto the South Downs to have a walk just outside, and I would not have been able to do that last year if I hadn't have built up the strength that I have over the last 12 months in physio and CrossFit, which I treat as rehab, because I just ask my physio what I should be doing in CrossFit and then just work extra hard there. The exercise never stops. It's pretty good. It's pretty good to feel I can do something anyway. And so that's what I did on my birthday, stem cell birthday, and it's kind of onwards and upwards really. In terms of my improvements that I've noticed, my improvements are slow. It's okay with me that they're slow, because at least they're going in the right direction. Sometimes it doesn't feel okay that they're slow, and I get really frustrated, but that's, you know, putting it into perspective, I'm really glad that things are going well. But I have to have my physio point out to me where I'm improving, because a lot of the time I can't quite see it yet myself. I can in little ways, which is good, but not completely. I've got my treadmill at home. It's a pretty big thing to have in my house, that's for sure, but it is helping me relearn how to walk, which is how I kind of look at what I need to be doing now. My balance is definitely a work in progress, but it's progress that is going upwards in a really up and downy line. But it's going up, but it is going down sometimes, and it's just, you know, that's what I have to work with. What's really nice is that I quite recently donated the walking frame that I got when I first got back from Russia, and I could not cross a room without it. It was very sturdy, and I didn't feel so great about having to have it at the time, but if I didn't have the walking frame, then I would literally be crawling. I mean, so I needed it, but I only needed it really for the first 2 months, and I've had it in my house for quite a while, just because I haven't really known quite where it should go. But I got to donate it to a really nice charity last month, that helps like elderly people and people with disabilities, and they were so happy to have it. It made me really pleased. And it was a, again, symbolic thing. It's like, I no longer need this because I've improved so much that I was when I first came back. So that felt awesome. I've unofficially as well put myself under the care of Dr. Fedorenko going forward, kind of roughly planning a trip to Russia every 2 years. So next year I'm gonna go see Dr. Fedorenko, have an MRI scan, and that is what, firstly, really nice to go back and see him and not have my head mangled by chemo when I'm seeing them. It feels like the last time I saw them, when I was leaving the hospital, I was run over. You know, I was so, it was great that I'd had the treatment, but I was also like really physically knocked back, shall we say. And it's just going to feel so good to go back and see them 2 years on, visibly so much better. Like, I'm going to walk in there to see Dr. Fedorenko. I'm not going to roll in there using a wheelchair. That feels great. Even though I have no doubts about this treatment at all, I feel that he is my doctor when it comes to this treatment, and I just want him to keep an eye on how my MRI scans are. So all in all, I feel really positive and hopeful. I don't feel brilliant all the time because I've still got disability that I have to deal with, which is a pain, obviously. So that, yeah, there are days when I don't feel so great, but most of the time I have a baseline of optimism anyway, and most of the time I'm feeling really hopeful and really positive, and I think I've got the opportunity to get so much better than I am now as well, and that's exciting to think about what that's going to look like. My physio's super positive as well. She's like, oh, if you've stopped MS now and you can strengthen these muscles, then you've got some potentially really like life-changing improvements, which is fabulous to hear. Anyway, I will be back making update videos as and when it's a good time to do so.